Okay, so hello. Um, nobody's here yet, but today I'm going to be streaming for the first time. I'm going to be doing some modeling and rigging on my stream. Um, so, obviously nobody's here right now, but anybody who's watching this post, um, you know, me streaming, if you don't know, I am a 3D animation and game development student. So, yeah, I've also worked for a game studio before, doing skinning and some rigging for, well, mostly just skinning for like their playable characters and NPC outfits in their game. So, yeah, this is some stuff that I like to do. Yeah, so first I'm going to quickly change this setting real quick. Okay. Alright, I guess let's get started on the stream. So what I'm going to be doing today, what I'm going to be making is like a robot head, neck, shoulder type area. It's just going to be some really basic Whitebox modeling so that I can rig it as like a proof of concept. And basically the idea is, you've got your head, and then major muscles wise you have a couple muscles like coming through here and through the back and kind of across here. And so I'm going to have like a robot head and these major muscles. In place of those, there's going to be like hydraulic pistons. And then I'm going to try and rig it so that you can move the head all about like this and however, and it looks like totally correct with the way that the pistons are moving and stuff. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing. So I've got some references. I don't think you guys can see them, but I've just got some references of like pistons and human neck anatomy. So yeah, I guess I'll just get started. The first step is just going to be me, Whitebox modeling this whole thing. So I'm going to start with a sphere. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna, let's go object Y, I think, yeah. I think that's probably good. And then I will just take this and I will fill it. Sorry, modeling is not my strong suit, so I'm not like the fastest at it. I can generally make things look pretty good, but it kind of, I'm much slower than a modeler, so let's see. Fill hole, thank you. And then I guess let's just go take this tool. See, it's a quad, right? Yeah. No, that's not a quad. I don't even know what I'm thinking. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it is. What are you talking about? Alright. So let's take this whole thing and just mesh, clean up. Let's see. And I will merge all the vertices just because sometimes it can be real weird when you use the multi-cut tool and things like won't combine the right way. So if we smooth that, it looks kind of weird. Let's just take, let's de-insert edge loop. And what settings do we got? Let's do relative distance from edge. Great, so now if we want to smooth this, it looks fine. Great. I'll just keep that unsmooth for now. Oh, what the heck? Oh, you know what? I know what's up. No, I don't, I guess. Why is it? It's totally handling those differently. You know, before we do that, why don't we just see. Oh. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I'm making a mistake. Sorry. Wait, what if we just... delete edge. Alright. So we'll do it like I was doing before. Alright, and then let's just say it's edge loop. And we'll go equal distance from edge. Oh, wait. Multiple edge loops. 3 looks good. Okay, great. Okay, great. So let's take both of these, freeze them, delete their history, and then I will just mesh, combine, delete all that. And then we will go here. We're going to call this the head. Oh, hello! The plot of this game. So basically, I am going to be... Sorry, I don't know when you sent that in. I have not been looking at the chat. Basically, I am modeling... It's just like a really basic white box model that I'm doing of like a robot head slash neck slash like top of the shoulders. Because what I want to do is like a proof of concept rig with the focus being on the neck, where, because you have like your major muscles in your neck coming through like here, and like back here, kind of coming in here and stuff. And I want to have those be like hydraulic pistons. And I want to, rig it so that as you move the head around like this, all of the pistons look like they're moving in the right way, so that it like mechanically makes sense. So that's basically what I'm doing today. Is just like a really basic white box model so that you can kind of tell what it is, and then I will be just trying to rig that as a proof of concept. So my goal for today is to at least finish the white box model, and then the rigging I want to start experimenting with, but I won't necessarily like finish with the rig today. So yeah, that's basically what's going on. I'm going to scale this up a little bit, and I think that that's about where I want that. So yeah, I mean, let me know if you have any questions, or tips would be super helpful, because I am a slow modeler. I actually have decided I want this to be moved in a little bit more. Looks good enough to me. Okay, so that is the head, and then now I'm going to just be modeling the pistons. Have you seen that super realistic rig of V1 from Ultrakill? No. V1 Ultrakill rig. you find it. Okay, sounds good. I looked up one of them. Oh, I think I might have found it. Yeah, I see what you're talking about. It's got like all of the mechanical parts and stuff. And it's got like, oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now by Ole Patrick. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, kind of like that. But I want to have like multiple pistons representing the neck of the model. And then just kind of be able to do this type of thing with it, you know? So. Got some piston in his hands. Yeah. That's cool. That's a good reference. Okay, well, for the hydraulic pistons, let's see how I'm going to do this. I think I'll just, yeah, let me see. Oh, a hand rig, that's cool. The thumb specifically. Yeah. I'll show you the one that I was looking at. Same rig, but this was like a full body, like strut type thing. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like, okay, I'll model this right now. So, I'll just do a basic white box thing. And let's go to the bottom there. I'm thinking maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe I should go a bit bigger. Yeah, I'll go kind of like that. And then I'll shrink that down a little bit. And it'll be in there. Interesting. Okay. I like the way they've made the pistons look. Interesting. Okay. So then I will take one of these. I'm just going to select, don't do that. Okay. Let's do object Y, yeah. Okay, so I think I'll do insert edge loop. Let's try splitting it in 4. Yeah. Okay. Let's bridge that. Okay. And fill hole. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe my topology can be bad right now. I don't know. Should I not? Maybe I should just make it good. No. Yeah, I'm just going to leave those as n-cons. I know that's a no-no, but ooh, it's okay. I'm not going to be smoothing this anyways at this point. Yeah. I don't know, maybe I need to just get rid of this part here. What does this guy's look like? Oh, you know what? I see. I understand. I did do this wrong. Okay. So I'll just get rid of that. Let's, again, we'll flip it this way. Oop. Go that way. Everything below here gone. Then I want to take this whole thing, extrude it out. Yeah. Let's maybe go a little further. It's an edge loop. That looks good to me. And then I will just take all of. Should I go a little farther down? Yeah, I think so. Oop. Let's just do one. No, let's do two. Okay, now I think maybe I could go that far down. Yeah. Yeah, I think I could go that far down. Okay, let's take this and we'll just bridge that. How many? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that'd be what, 9? No, 7? Let's try 7. No, let's try 5. No, it would be 7. Okay, yeah. Okay, and we'll fill that hole. Let's just take these faces. No. Oh. Let's select those. Object Y. Okay. Oh. Wait, hold on. I did that totally wrong. Oops. Looks good to me. No, I should probably do this. Yeah. I think that's fine. Okay, let's see. Now that that's done, you know what? Okay. Let's scale it down. There's a try on the inside part. Oh, in here? Yeah. There's a bunch out here too. Right now I don't really care about topology because I'm going to have this stuff all kind of moving as one thing. Very much like rigid rigging. There's not really going to need to be skinning. And ultimately, I don't care how this thing looks that much, just as long as it looks enough like hydraulics that, you know, people can understand. So, in fact, I honestly don't think I should have even taken the time to retopologize all this, because I don't think I needed that. I think I could have just left it as icons. I'm thinking maybe I could widen that. Yeah. I mean, it's not the most elegant looking thing, but, oh, you know what? I should also just, like, take these with them. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Okay. Looks relatively pistony, I don't know. Interesting. Okay. So it's looking like maybe... Okay. Don't bother putting too much time into the thought, but off the top of your head, do you know any movies with some kind of countdown / self-destruct sequence? I do know Phineas and Ferb across the first and second dimension. There's some self-destruct things going on there. I don't know that that's what you're looking for, but off the top of my head, that's the first thing I can think of. So, I don't know. used to own the CD soundtrack for that movie. Nice. When I was a kid, I remember we used to, like, me and my siblings, we would put Pandora on the TV because we had like a Pandora app. We'd put it on the TV or like on the computer, and we would listen to Phineas and Ferb radio station or channel or whatever, because you could like select a song or like an artist on Pandora and like play a channel of that and then play similar music. So we used to listen to Phineas and Ferb channel on Pandora when I was a kid. That was a fun time. Okay, so mesh, I'm gonna mirror that. That looks good enough to me. Object X. So I'm using the video that you sent me as a reference. And I'm thinking, is that kind of how it looks? Yeah, that's kind of how that looks. Maybe let's do it like this. Here's some breakdown of the entire model. Ooh, I might look at that. Okay, so this can move that way. So that one will help it move this way. So this one's got to have no, wait, is that the wrong way? Yeah, that's the wrong way. Let's do the same thing for the other side. Okay. Hello, how's it going? I'm currently modeling. So right now what I'm working on is I'm just doing a Whitebox model for I'm modeling like a robot head slash neck slash like top of the shoulders area. The main focus being on like the neck. And basically what I'm doing is, so you have like your major muscles in your neck, like here, and like coming through here and through here. And so I'm basically making like a really basic Whitebox model of a robot neck, where you have like hydraulic pistons in place, like where those, you know, major muscles go in your neck. And I'm just doing like a really basic, quick Whitebox model so that I can use it and do like a proof of concept rig, because I want to be able to like move the head around like this and have all of the, you know, all the pistons kind of look like they're moving mechanically the right way to get it to do that. So it's true. It's true. I am playing a game where I can't blame my teammates. Although you know what? You know what? Sometimes the software is buggy. Maybe I can blame the software. I don't know. Let's see. So right now I'm just modeling out the piston. Let's see. How long can this extend out? Is that long enough? I think that's long enough. This one is just for fun. What I'm going to be doing for the competition is I'm going to do like a couple of character designs. I already have one drawn out, although that one needs to be more like fleshed out. But I'm going to draw out a couple of character designs and then choose one of them and then model that and rig that. Right now the only design I have done is like the little baby dragon. I don't know if you remember that, but the baby dragon that I showed in class one time. That I just have like quick sketches for. So yeah, currently that's the only candidate for the character that I'm going to be doing. But this is just because I haven't really worked on anything lately, and I wanted to start working on something tonight that I could like maybe get, mostly done. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Sneak peek of the other characters. You would if they existed. So I definitely would love to show you, but I still need to design some other characters. That's something I've been kind of putting off. But maybe for one of my streams, I'll try and come up with some designs of characters. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. So these two should be combined. Let's delete that history. This one, so I'll call this one piston top geo. Yeah, we should call this head geo as well. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that sometime soon. I did actually sign myself up for some summer classes. I think I'm taking 12 credits over the summer, and that starts tomorrow, so that's going to be real fun. But yeah, so let's see. What does the other side of a piston look like? Just doing generals, yeah. No, I'm just trying to finish my generals. So currently, if I do this summer semester, then that will mean I have, I think, like 8 classes left to take, and those are all just for the program. So I can take, 4 next semester and 4 the last semester. That way I don't have to take an extra semester of classes just to graduate. That way I don't have to take an extra semester of classes after the program is finished and then graduate a semester late. So yeah, just the necessary classes that I unfortunately have to take. I think I will do it like this. Oh shoot. Yeah. It'd be great if we could all graduate at the same time. Because it would suck to finish with the program and then not be graduated. Generals over the last 2 summers, so you wouldn't have to worry about them. Yeah, I would have all my generals done, but I was in the honors program at UVU for the first couple years. I was here because I got a scholarship that helped pay for my rent. But that only lasts, they only give that to you for 2 years. So after that I stopped doing it. But you have to take like several classes for the honors program in order to stay enrolled in it. And so I was taking like 18 or 19 credit semesters, but several of my credits were classes that didn't count for anything at all. And so if I hadn't done that, then I would be not needing to do a summer semester right now. But the nice thing was they did help pay my rent for the first 2 years of college, so that was super nice. But yeah. Okay, so now I think you have to take summer classes this year, so you're just going to work on stuff for your portfolio. Yeah, that's super nice. Does this look hydraulic enough? I don't know exactly how. Okay, you know what, for now, I am just going to take this in, and I'm going to stick it into wherever it needs to go. And then I will call it good. So I'm going to take everything here, and I'm actually going to combine it. Mesh, combine, do all that. And I will call this piston geo. I'll call this piston reference geo, because I'm going to just be duplicating this a bunch. Am I crazy? Is the music that keeps cutting in and out? I don't... Oh, shoot! Yeah, there was. I was just barely watching this. I should probably mute that. A video on YouTube that Hunter... Yeah, that Hunter recommended. Which is of like a robot rig for reference. So that's what that was. I didn't even think about the fact that you could hear that. Okay, so here's this. And okay, so I'm going to call this piston you know what, I'll just call that for now. But basically the first one, so where do those attach on your neck? No, yeah, it's because I had a video pulled up, don't worry. So that attaches just under the ear behind the jaw. I should probably snap that 90. So like kind of back here. And it's angled. Let's see. What kind of angle does this come in at? So I should probably have this here. So this is kind of like the shoulders. What does a person look like from the side? Oh, good to know. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. So I'll have this, and then can I have this to the object? Thank you. That can come in there kind of like that. But I do think that's not quite with the right angle, so I need to maybe do a little more like this, and a little more in. I'll bring that back in here. I'll twist that a little bit. Maybe I can bring it up. That seems like it's the right thing there. Yeah, and then if I just have a second one of those on the other side, I think it'll all be good. Okay, so then I'm actually going to take this edge right here, and I'll bring it in. Because I don't want that running into things too much. Okay. So I'll have that one there. Also, just trying to recommend Overwatch channels. That's funny. I honestly could not tell you a single Overwatch channel. Oh, except my wife's. But, yeah, I don't really watch streamers, so... I think I've been on Twitch like once. I don't even really know how Twitch works, if I'm being totally for real. Okay, so that one's going to go there, and then I'm thinking maybe I have one big one come through the middle here for like your esophagus. Hmm. 180. And I'll size this up just a little. Then I will have that one connect to it here like that. Those can go in there. And I'm actually thinking for this one specifically, I want it a little bit beefed up. Oh. Yeah, I want that one a little bit beefed up. Same here. Okay. And then I need one for the back of the neck. So, let's see. Where does that connect exactly? Ah. Interesting. Okay. Scale this down again. Any movies with a countdown sequence or self-destruct sequence? Yeah, the only one I could think of was the Phineas and Ferb Across the First and Second Dimension movies. So as long as you can pick one other than that, I think you'll maybe satisfy darkness. Okay, so from this side, is it coming? It's kind of just coming straight down. It curves too much. I don't know how to. Okay. Is that enough? Do I need more? Maybe I need more of these. Oh, you know what? I know where I need more. Okay, I see. So that one's good. Any Mission Impossible, Die Hard, GoldenEye, a few of the Star Wars movies, War Games, Independence Day. Wow, you could think of a lot more than I could. I could not think of any. Okay, where does that connect? I think that connects like here. Going back there, okay. Okay, and then for these ones, I'll just have it go. Ooh, my only fear is that this is totally going to be clipping through stuff. I don't know, I guess we'll see. Okay, now let's take this whole thing. Okay. Let's take this one. Trying to study panic music, so that hurry up and you're out of time type stuff. You might even. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That's cool stuff. You should look into the composer named Michael Giacchino. I can. It's spelled like this: Michael Giacchino. Yeah. You should look into some of his music. He's like my favorite composer of all time. And he's worked on some cool stuff, including like Mission Impossible. He did the music for those. He did The Incredibles. He did some Marvel stuff. So you should look into his music. I think it's really good. I think that could be a good reference. Let's see. So I'll move this one a little more up. As well as I think this one could actually scale just a bit. Maybe that's a little much. Okay. And then I'll take no. Please. How does that look? I could honestly go out a little more, I think. Will do. Okay. Inception, Dark Knight Rises, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, good panic music, Interstellar. That's true. Hans Zimmer is pretty good with that kind of stuff. Oh, possible ban evader. Oh. Yeah, boo 'em. Yeah. Let's see. Ban. Yeah. You guys are all welcome to clap. You know. Okay, I'm thinking I might actually have to replace this one because I'm realizing from a rigging perspective I may have made a mistake. Let's see. No, you know what? I accept the challenge. I'll just figure it out. Okay, well, I'm thinking that looking? I'm thinking that's looking pretty good. What do you guys think? If I duplicate, you know, these three to the other side, I think it'll be good to start rigging it. Because this is going to be an interesting challenge, honestly. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty much ready. Although I really do think this one should be bolted up. Certainly looks cool. Thank you, thank you. How's that? Yeah. Well, maybe that's a little too much. Did I go a little overboard with that? Okay, that's looking like an esophagus, I think. Okay. Yeah, I think this is ready to be duplicated, or finished, I mean. I'll take all this, delete history and freeze and all that. And let's take these three and mesh. Is it edit mesh? I think it's mesh. Mirror. Okay. Now, take everything, get rid of it again. So this is just the base. Geo. And then these ones are actually all going to combine. Oh. We're going to call this one neck geo. And then we'll just do some basic skinning in order to get things to move instead of having them in separate pieces. Okay, so I think that's looking pretty cool, honestly. Ooh. These aren't clipping into each other, are they? Meh, looks good enough to me. Yeah. Tenet, Black Panther, Spider-Man movies, Dune 1 and 2. What movies has Michael Giacchino composed for? I'm pretty sure he's worked on some of the Spider-Man movies. Maybe not. Ooh, okay, so Michael Giacchino has worked on tons of movies, but here are just a few. Spider-Man Revenge, I guess that's a short. Zootopia, Lightyear, Thor, Jurassic World, The Batman. Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home he's worked on. Spider-Man Far From Home. The Incredibles, one of the Star Trek movies, I guess. Spider-Man Homecoming, Rogue One, Doctor Strange, Star Trek Beyond, Jurassic World, Inside Out, Ratatouille, Toy Story, Cars, Star Tours, apparently. That's one of the rides at Disneyland, I believe. How to Train Your Dragon. Oh, I love How to Train Your Dragon. Oh, he did the music for Up and Lost, the show, apparently. Wow. Cool guy. I love this guy. This is my favorite composer of all time. I love his music. I haven't been listening to tons of music on Spotify this year. But I think for like 2 years in a row, a couple of years ago, I was in his 0.05% of top listeners for Michael Giacchino music on Spotify. So I love this guy's music. I think he does some good stuff. Oh, apparently he worked on Call of Duty on United Offensive. Oh, and Call of Duty, the first one. Medal of Honor. Wow. Oh yeah, and the Jurassic World and Jurassic Park movies. That's pretty cool. Anyways. So, I think he's a great composer, and he does the type of music that you seem to be looking for a lot of movies. So, yeah, I don't know. Might want to look into him. What am I doing right now? Oh, I need to start rigging. Woo, okay. So let's just start with some joint placement. How do I do this? So, left side of the model, I'm going to start placing joints for these. And I will just say deform cluster. Let's place one there. So it's going to need one there. It's going to need one. I'll put it. Ooh, okay. I'll put one here. I don't know if you guys know how to do this, but if you like select something, it can be like a single face, or it can be like a whole object. If you press Shift I, then it will isolate only that thing, so that it's the only thing that you can see in the viewport. And then if you want to undo it, you can click on this little thing here, or if you want to do it there. So I use that all the time, especially when I'm doing like skinning and rigging stuff. I find it super helpful to only be able to see one part of the model. Okay, so I'll need one there, and then I guess I will need one probably down here. Yeah. So there's one there, one here. Okay, and I guess I'll just go do that for all the other ones. Control 1. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Control 1. Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't know you could use Control 1 for that. Okay, let's see. Control 1. Nice. Oh. Makes it easier because you can do it with one hand. That's true. That's true. Ah! I also think it's nice because... Oh, shoot. Because I think when you just do, like... I think when you do Shift I... if you do Shift I again, it doesn't undo it. It only works the one way. So, definitely I think Control 1 is the better way. So that's definitely good to know. Thank you. Let's put one there. here. Ooh, that goes a little far down, honestly. That is fine. I don't really care. So I believe... Oh, you know what? I do care where those go. Because I don't want them all the way down here. Okay, we're going to have to do some real quick redoing of this stuff. Okay, so here's how it's going to go. Oh, shoot. If the head were to rock back a bit, would that metal piston prevent it? So here's what, let's see. I mean like this. So how these are going to work are, get rid of the middle piston, this one. I might have to reposition it, but how these are going to work is like this little part here, this like, I don't know how to describe that shape. The circular part that like goes down and it has little headphones, that part's going to be directly attached to the piston, or to the head, and then this part here can rotate within it, like going this way and that. And so if the head were to rock back like this, then this one should be able to like just like rotate like that. Although I guess, you know what? That might be a problem. We'll see. We'll see when I get there. And if it is a problem, I'll just redo that. But for now, I'm thinking I want to try and keep things as they are. My only concern is I need to figure out how to get where these intersect with this plane, because I want their pivot point to be on the plane so that they always look like they're holding the same position on the plane. Depends on how much movement you want. Well, the nice thing about that is that this top part can slide on the bottom part, right? So it should be going like that. And I think there's enough room between the bottom of this and that ground plane for it to, you know, slide up and down without clipping through it. My biggest worry is all of these are going to like clip through each other depending on which direction you move the head. So we'll see when I get there. I think that is a problem to figure out a little later down the line. Right now I need to figure out how to place the joints like right on the ground plane, but also directly in the middle of these, because yeah, I don't know. Because as they move around, they should be sticking in the same place on the ground plane. But since right now I have the pivot point all the way down here, the spot that's going to be staying in place is below the ground plane, so potentially they'll look like they're moving kind of across the surface a little bit. So that is something I want to figure out right now, because I don't know how to deal with that. How do I... Okay, I've got an idea. So first I'm going to hide all of these clusters. But I'm going to take the neck and the base, and I'm going to duplicate those. I'm going to hide all of these as well. And then I'm actually going to do this one to this one. I've never used booleans before, but I am going to do difference b minus a. Perfect. Okay. Delete that history. And then I can actually place my clusters. Oh, that's annoying. Can I not go in a circle because it's bad geometry? Okay. I will take... No, I think I just gotta go all the way around to be safe. What a great solution I had. Not to brag, I think that was pretty smart. Because I've never had to do something like this before. But I think that was a really good solution. Because this way, it's guaranteed to have the cluster within the center of the pole. But it's also like aligned with that top of the ground plane. That was a good solution. I'm proud of that. Okay, let's see. An okay solution. What the heck? What is this? Very clever. A tip, if you don't know how, you could hold tab. Auto select whatever your mouse runs over. Ah, okay. Because I've seen people do that, but I've never taken the time to look up how. Tab. Oh. Very good. That's much faster. Yeah. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's way faster. Because I see people do that all the time, but I never have known how. Okay. Now I'm going to hide these. I'm going to delete these because I don't need those anymore. How many were there? Oh, shoot. Did I just delete the clusters accidentally? Ah, the clusters go... That's done. Okay, so I guess I keep those for now. But I will... Because the clusters are associated with the mesh, so if I get rid of the mesh, I get rid of the clusters. Just gotta make sure you don't actually select something you don't want. Yeah, that's true. But it did make it much faster. That's a good thing to know. Thank you. I'm gonna hide this, and then I'm gonna delete all of these clusters. Okay. So now I'm going to do rigging, skeleton, create joints. Snap those. Okay, so now I can get rid of these clusters, and then I can do these ones. Okay, so now that I've gotten rid of those, I can actually get rid of these. Let's see what we got left. Shading, actually joints, Twitch notification. Oh, does it say that it's my first stream? Hold on. What kind of settings do I have? I'll have to fix that later. I did not realize it said that it's my first stream every time. That's definitely something I gotta fix. Okay, let's expand all these. And the radius, let's say 0.1, 0.2, 0.2 looks good. Okay, now, how do I do this? My first stream? Yeah, it does say my first stream. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. I did not realize it was doing that. Okay. So now I've got all these set up. I'm actually going to have this one be a child of this. This one's going to be a child of this. This one to this. Oh shoot, did I do this one wrong? Oops. Those were lined up perfectly. Okay, so without the neck, how does that look? Yeah, that's what the neck looks like. Okay. Okay. Why do I still have this on? So here's the cool part. Here's the cool part, you guys. So let's expand these out. So first I'm just going to name these. So this is going to be left, back, piston, 01 joint. And then that's going to be number 2. This is going to be number 3. Sorry, this isn't the cool part yet. I'll get there in a sec. Right now I'm just naming things. Okay, this one will be left front piston. Oh, whoops. Okay. Is that the mid? Yeah. I'll call that left mid piston. And right now I'm going based off of the positions of like where they attach to the head. There's the front, middle, and back one. That's why I'm calling this mid, even though it extends back further. Yeah, I mean that's a reasonable way of naming it. 2, 3. And then this one I'll just call throat piston 01 joint. 2 and 3. Okay, here's the cool part. Now I could take these 3 joints, and as you can see, they are oriented terribly, right? But what I've done is I've written my own tool for orientation, and it will orient these joints in like a perfect orientation so that they can be used for an IK system with no problem if you want. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to say orient, and look how perfect that is. See that straight line going through here? Like, I'll undo that. This is why you guys should look into my scripts. You know what? I should make like a plugin resource pack for Maya and sell that. I think that would be great. Yeah, isn't that cool? So look, I'll show you skeleton, orient joint, which first off, if I were to do it this way, it wouldn't work probably. But I'm just going to use this tool for toggle axis visibility. So now you can see these orientations are all out of whack, right? Nobody likes that. Bad orientation. Boo, right? How much do I want for it, for the resource pack? I got no clue. I gotta put enough together. I gotta put enough tools together first to like justify selling it as a pack. Currently, these are all free. If you go, I can send you a link to my GitHub repo, and you can just like steal my scripts. I really don't mind as long as you're not taking credit for them in like a portfolio or a demo reel or something. So as long as you like give me credit there, that's great. But look at that. Look at that orientation. Perfectly aligned. So anyways, that's all. That's the cool part. This one is by far one of my favorite scripts I've ever written. It's not like the most complicated one at all, but it just felt so cool to get my own script that orients 3 joints, however, like in the perfect orientation with no effort. So, yeah. No credit for me. What the heck? Mods, chat, somebody ban this guy. Somebody ban this guy. And you know what? Call him some sort of, not a slur, but as close as you can get to a slur without it actually being a slur. Somebody call him that. Swiper, you will swipe. No, can't believe this. Anyways, that's how that works. So I'll just do that again for all of these. And now, if I just look at these, then look, all my joint chains, perfectly oriented. Whoa, what the heck? I gotta let that message through. He's gotta know. What do you think of that? Yeah. 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 Anyways, so this orientation script only works for chains of 3 joints specifically. If you want to go more than that, then, so cool thing math-wise. So the reason why IK systems are used for like joint chains of 3 joints specifically, that's where they're used the most, is because if you have 3 points in space, and this is in terms of like linear algebra, like matrix math, you know, and vectors, and like in 3 space, you can have any 3 points anywhere in space, and you can always find a single plane that intersects all 3 points, right? And that's super significant because that means when you're doing like IK systems, the way that it solves it is it basically, when you're doing an IK system, you are taking 3 points, right? And let's say you're working in 2-dimensional space, right? You have 3 points in 2-dimensional space, and you know the distance between this one and this one has to be this. The distance between this one and this one has to be this. So what an IK system is doing is you're taking this last point, and you're like saying, okay, if I move it to this new position, and I know that the position of the first point is here, and I know the distances between 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, then there is exactly, well, okay, there's 1 point where this one could be. There's actually 2 points. It could be here or it could be around here. There's only two points in that 2 space in which you can form that same triangle, or it's a new triangle, but it's the only way that you can place those points so that you still have the same distances between the points that you started with. When you're working in 3D, you can always find a plane that intersects all 3 points. And so the reason why orientation is important for your joints is because you need your joint orientation to be oriented like orthogonal or perpendicular to the plane that all of those exist on. Because otherwise, when you do the IK system, you're going to get really weird like bending because your orientation is pointing off in some other direction, and it wants to keep those joints pointing in the directions that they started in relative to things. So yeah, that's how that works. Oh yeah, and when you're working in 2-dimensional space, right, with this triangle, it orients perfectly, and whatever, you know exactly how the triangle should look. When you move into 3 dimensions, suddenly you have 3 points, 1, 2, and 3, and if point 1 is here and point 2 is here, then point 3 could be here, or it could be anywhere like around in 360 degrees. It could be anywhere around that plane. So that's why you have a pole vector, and you do a pole vector constraint. You basically say, okay, I want my triangle to exist, along this pole, and then I want the plane to be oriented pointing towards this thing. So, anyways, I don't know what I was ranting about, but, oh yeah, the reason why it only works for 3 joints, my script, is because I designed it to work that way. But basically, the reason why it only works for 3 joints is because when you're working in 3-dimensional space, if you have more than 3 points, then there is absolutely no guarantee that they can all be lined up in one plane, right? There's no singular plane that can always be found intersecting all 4 or more of those points. And that's also the reason why game engines work with triangles, right? When you import a model into a game engine, even if your model is made up entirely of quads, it will convert all of those quads into tris, because tris are just way easier to compute in terms of how they should look, since there's always a singular plane that can cut through all 3 of those points. So, anyways, cool. Yeah. All that explanation didn't really matter for any of this stuff. But yeah, basically the point of it is an orientation script, when you're working in 3-dimensional space, can really just work for 3 points, because if you have more than 3 points, there's no guarantee that they can all be oriented in the proper way. So yeah, if you're ever using my orientation script, just know you can only use it for a chain of 3 points specifically. You can't go more than that. And you also can't go less than that, just because of the way I wrote it. But I wrote it. Anyways, that is all. Yeah, so I should get to starting to figure out how to rig this. Okay. So we have all these. I am going to do a joint for the head, like right around here. I think that's a good pivot point for the head while hunting monsters. Okay, sounds good. Have fun doing some monster hunting. I'm just going to be modeling stuff, so. Okay. And then, if I want it to lean forward and back and stuff, I'm thinking it'd be good to have a cluster there as well, a joint there. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So then let's do skeleton, create joint. Let's do this one as, oh my gosh, I cannot see. The chat is like right above this stuff for me. 0.5 for that one. Let's do 0.6 for this one. Looks good to me. And this will be neck joint. And this one will be head joint. And then we'll do throat as a child of this first. And then front, mid, and back. Okay, so that should be the proper joint hierarchy. You know what? Just for good measure, maybe I'll put a root joint. Skeleton create joint. No, that's not how that works. Skeleton create joint. Let's put it there. And then this one will go to 0. Maybe I won't do a root joint. I don't even need a root joint because this isn't going into a game or anything. Okay, so I guess the first thing well, I guess the real first thing to do is to just mirror all my joints. So I go skin. Oh wait, skeleton, mirror joints. Let's check the rules on this. X, Z, or Y, Z sounds good. And I want to do a behavioral one, I think. You know what? I'm actually going to quickly unparent this. No. I just want to check. Yeah. I'm going to say let's rotate this on the x-axis by 90 degrees. No, negative 90. Okay. And then let's actually probably do the same thing here. Oh, you know what? I have a tool for this. How do I want this? So I think I want X pointing forward. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm going to freeze, rotate for this one as well. Okay, so now that's negative, that's positive, right? Same with this one. Negative, positive. Great. That's perfect. Okay. You know what? I should have saved this a long time ago. I just realized I've not saved this project at all. This is going to go to local files, personal projects, proof of concepts. Nice, I didn't realize I had one for that. And this one is going to be, I'll call this piston neck rig. Okay, and I should probably set the project as well. Okay, great. Yeah, I forget to save all the time. Although sometimes I have the opposite problem. Sometimes I will save so frequently that I will accidentally save after doing something that I did not want to keep because it broke everything, and then I'll just be screwed. Especially because I also don't commit changes to my GitHub repo enough, so that's my bad. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to create some locators actually. Modify, match all transforms. And we will call this left. No, wait, we will call this root base locator. This one's going to be left front base locator. Left back base locator and left. We'll call this one mid base locator. Let's organize them like that. Okay. And all these locators, I actually don't care about their orientation, I think. You know what? We'll keep that for now. And then I'm actually going to take all these. And ooh, used to have all of them like project name 00 whatever. Oh, yeah, that's fair. Local versioning. Yeah, I should probably get into the habit of doing that sometimes. I do it every once in a while. I used to do it for work, but not recently. I don't know if you want to see this. This tool that I've created. But I actually really like this one. So I select an object, whatever object I want, and then I can just say, parent group, offset group, one, the other, or both. And then let's say I want both, and I say create groups. And, oh, something's off with that. But basically it creates a group, and that group should have the same transform values as the object. So now this group is in its place, right? And this thing has all zeros. That way you don't have to do it manually. So that's a nice one. Oh. Okay. So all these should be zeroed out, I think. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to quickly make some groups here. So this is going to be the geometry. This is going to be the locators. Let's get joints, or I guess I'll call this skeleton. And then I'll create another group. This one will be the controls. So it's going to go geometry, skeleton, controls. Okay, no, it's geometry. Yeah, that seems good. And then I'll put this all into a group, and I will call this proof of concept. No, that's not what POC stands for. I guess I can't use that. Piston, neck, asset. Okay. So I gotta figure out how this is gonna work. So for now, I think what I want to do is, well, I'm going to create a real quick control for this. So let's scale that up. Okay. And I'm actually going to have this be up here. There you go. Okay, so that is the head control. And I want it to be green. Okay. And then I will create a control for this one. Neck control, let's scale that up. Been a minute since you've done anything. That's probably a good idea. That's why I'm doing this right now. I don't want to lose my skills before it gets too deep into the summer. And I think I want the neck control to be yellow. So for now, these might be the only controls for this rig, honestly. Because everything else should be handled via the rig. So, say neck control, head control. These both go into the controls. And then I'm actually going to do select that one, then this, select that one, then this one, and we are going to do, oh wait, this one's got to go up the chain, huh? Tools, we're going to do broken FK. So if I move this, yeah. You're planning on rigging your characters and doing an animation with it? That's a good idea. I think I want to do the same thing, honestly. So I'll say follow rotate will be turned off. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that totally works. Okay. So, okay. You want to see this cool script? So if I take, this is my constraints tool. So you can select, you can set a prefix, a suffix for the constrainer and the constrainee. By default, there's no prefix set, but the suffix is control for the first one and joint for the second one. And then you can tell it what kind of constraints you want to set. It could be parent, scale, or both. And then you just select all of the controls that you want to do it for. You can say create constraints. So now, if you look at this joint, now the joints all follow, and same with this one. It automatically goes and finds those joints, or just any corresponding objects using the prefixes and suffixes that you've set over here. So if you do your naming conventions right, this script works really well. I really like it. So yeah, I really like it. Okay, so when this stuff moves, this stuff shouldn't. So first order of business, we're going to say this locator to this joint, and I'm going to say constrain point constraint. So now as I move this around, that joint stays in place. Great. Point constraint again. Point constraint. And for the last one, point constraint. Okay. So now, great, those all stay attached in place. Okay. Okay, now I think what I want to do so I want this one to look at that one, but I don't know that I want to use an aim constraint. I'm thinking maybe I could do a single chain solver, single chain IK solver. So if I want to do that, because I want this one looking down at that one, and I also want this one looking up at that one, but they can't both be looking at each other. Probably could. Okay, what if for now I try just doing a regular IK chain? Create IK handle. I want to just make sure this is regular. Okay, rotate plane solver. We're going to go from this one to this one. Okay. So there's one issue, I think. I don't think I'm going to do it that way. Okay. Okay, I can handle. Let's do a single chain solver from this one to that one. Okay, so that's always looking at that. Let's see how that looks real quick. I'm going to do a quick scanning of these joints. Okay, let's see how that looks. We'll see. Why can I not? Oh, pine skin. Okay, so off the bat, that's obviously going to look awful. Yeah. Let's just do some quick skinning. So, we'll do this whole thing. To the head joint. Okay, great. And I'm actually going to take this one, I'm going to say skin, remove unused influences. So it just has the one joint. Yeah, because it doesn't need all these other ones. Okay, and then we'll say face. So for here, I want them all to be weighted to the front piston 3. Yeah. Okay. Let's do for this one, that's the back piston 3. For this one, it is the mid piston 3. And I'll say that is going to go to the front piston 2. Back piston 2. And mid piston 2. Okay. I've not been doing the throat. I need to remember to do the throat. Okay. So that's going to be throat piston 3. And this is going to be throat piston 2. Okay. Throat piston 1. Which currently is basically just the head joint. Oh, you know what? There you go. Front piston 1. Mid piston 1. and back piston 1. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so those are not working. They're not pointing at each other. Okay. So first I'm just going to straight up delete all these IK handles. Let's say constrain, aim, reset the settings. XYZ. Interesting. I've got no clue why it's doing that. Okay. So I think what I gotta do is I gotta make another locator. I'm gonna say mid. Oh, locator. This one first is going to match all transforms of this one. And then it's going to get its own group. Okay, so dang, I did the wrong one. Okay, so I had it right the first time. Oh, you know what? I want to select this one and this one. Play that there. Ooh, okay. That's what I wanted. Yeah, it's starting to work. So I think that's the move. Okay, so I'm gonna just make another locator for these ones. And this one has got to match this one. I'm gonna call this one up locator. And then give it an offset group and move that offset group in the Z direction by 0.5. And I just want to scale this one down again. Okay. Now let's try it with this one. So I want this one to be the one that's getting aimed at. And then I want to say, no wait, I want this one, which is the up. Nice. Okay, and then I want to say this one, this one, apply. Okay. That's pretty cool. It looks pretty good. Mostly. Ooh, why is it twisting? Ah, I know why it's twisting. Because I gotta say, please don't move. There you go. Is this all that I needed to do? Is just like a single aim constraint for all these? I thought it was going to be more complicated than that. Oh, you know what? I think it probably is, because I think this, yeah, this is where it starts to get complicated, is if I want to move this thing here, because now these parts move out of their sockets. So I need to make sure that that all works. Yeah, okay, so I'll have to work on that. But for now, we're getting things working. Okay. So I'll just duplicate this, and I will call this one, instead of base, I will call it, oh, you know what? Let's say search and replace names. And instead of base, I want up. Great. .5, I think. Do I have my stream set only? It looks like you click on the menu skeleton, nothing pops up. Oh, yeah, I do have it set to just do Maya. Should I set it to the whole screen? Maybe I should do that. Okay. Okay. Hopefully these words don't bother you too much. That's just the chat so I can see it. Let me know if that's better. And scale, I just want to do 0.3 again, because that's what I like. Constraint, parent. Okay, now, constrain, aim, constrain, aim. That's the up locator. And I want to choose this one, apply. Okay. Oh, yeah. Now you should be able to see stuff. I've been using my tools, and a lot of them have a little UI that pops up. I didn't realize none of that was showing up. Let's see. I need to make one last one for this one. Let's do modify, search and replace names, apply, close that. Oh shoot, do I already have one for that? So I've got back, mid is the one that I'm missing. No, I have mid. What is this? Did I put them back again? Ugh. Oh, that's because that is back. My bad. Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to do search and replace again. Because I messed up the naming convention on these. And scale is going to be 0.3. Constraint parent. Constraint aim. Okay, so far that seems to work. The only tough part is going to be now making it so that I can move the head independent of the neck and get these to work. So that'll be a tough one to figure out, I think. But so far, it's looking pretty good. Although I should probably duplicate these joints so that this other side can actually get some skinning in. Okay, let's do skeleton, mirror joints. I want to do behavioral mirroring. Okay, apply, apply, apply. Okay, great. Now I need to get rid of these because they don't matter. And we got to do the same setup for those that we did for this other side. Okay, so first what I want to do is I want to add all of these to the skinning cluster. And then I want to take this and I want to mirror the skin weights. Okay, so one side should work and the other side should, do whatever. Okay. Let's duplicate this locators group. Get rid of the throat ones because those don't need to be duplicated. And then modify, search, replace names. We'll say left, replace it with right. Apply that to all those. None of them have a weird scale. No, they do all have weird scale. Okay. That is fine. I think I'll just freeze the scale here. And then I'll delete these fake constraints. And for all the up locators, I'll make the scale be 0.3. Okay, great. Now that we have all those locators in place, I can just quickly do the constraints. So I'll do this one, constraint parent. I'll select this one, same thing. This one, same thing. Okay, so now those locators are all staying where they need to. So I can say constrain in constraint. So first one, let's do this. We'll call this one. Okay. From here to here. Oh, you know what? The aim vector needs to be -1 for the x. I think it needs to be -z as well. Oh, why does that have weird translate values? Does the other one have weird translate values? Hold on. What is with that? Okay, so I think maybe I gotta do this the right way. Oh yeah, these are all totally messed up. Okay. Dang, I like totally messed something up. I guess I gotta delete all these right locators and redo them. Okay. So this is a little bit depressing because now I gotta redo the right side. So I'll do that. First though, I don't know where I want the chat to show up because it's been really distracting. Maybe I just change the opacity. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, so I'm just going to create another locator. Match all transformations. Okay. Whoa, why is it named that? What's with the one? What the heck? Why are there 3 of these? What the heck happened? Does Maya just freak out sometimes? What is that? Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. What did I just paste? Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, you're totally fine. Yeah, do whatever you want right now. Right now I'm just trying to figure out how to do stuff. I apparently messed some stuff up and now I gotta redo the whole right side locators. So, I don't know. I just figured I'd stream while I worked on stuff, but I'm not super invested in this stream. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Some stuff just went super wrong and I'm not entirely sure why. So I'm gonna search replace names. Do that. Tools. And create a parent group. Parent group. Parent group. Okay. So now I'm going to group all these. I'm going to call that right locators. This is going to be right front. Right mid. Oh, yeah. No. Not invested in you. Not even a little bit. No. Actually, you can suck it. So, you know. Okay. Real quick, I'm actually going to do this. So I'm going to say... layers. Gray layer from selected. We'll call that geo layer joint layer control layer and locator layer. How the heck do I move this? Ah, there you go. Locator, joint, control. Alright, yeah. Okay, and I'm going to just make that one reference only. You can use some of your renders for Twitch notifications. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, let's see. Right locators. Okay. I'm going to duplicate that. Okay. That one's gonna match all transforms. Duplicate that. Okay. And for all these, I'm going to say search and replace names. We're looking for these, and we're going to replace it with okay. Okay, now for all these, we're going to go -0.5 in the Z. We're also going to scale 0.3 there. Nice! It's looking good. I think they're all in the right places. Okay, so this one goes to the front, this one goes to the back, and this one goes to the mid. Okay, and then we say this one to this one. We are going to parent constraint it. Then to this one, parent constraint. Then to this one, parent constraint. Okay, so now those should all go along for the ride. They do. Thank you. Okay. And now I just gotta do the aim constraint finally. Okay. Okay, first one is gonna be the mid one. So I'm just gonna do this one, apply. Nice, didn't change anything, that looks great. Then we'll do the back. We'll do this one, apply. close enough. Okay, and then last one. I'm going to take this one. Close enough. I don't really care about tiny values. Great. And now we test. And it does in fact work. Yay. Only issue is I need to get these all point constraint. Great, that's actually sick. Okay. Once you're done streaming, you can tell me on Discord and show me. Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Alright, let's hide the locators. Okay, great. Oh shoot. That was what got to go in there. Okay, so here's how it's looking right now. You can move it like this. You can move it like this. Move it like this. It's all looking pretty good. The only thing to change right now is the length of these inner tubes. They are not long enough, but thank you. Yeah, it's looking good so far. I just need to lengthen those tubes, but other than that, the neck part works. So, and just because you guys were worried, it can go back and forward. I just need to lengthen those tubes a bit because they are too short. But other than that, it's looking good. The next part to worry about. No clipping, luckily. It seems like there's a pretty good range of motion before any clipping occurs. Let's see. If you go like super far this way, I think you'll start to get some clipping. Yeah, you start to get a little bit of clipping if you go super far that way. I'm sure if you twist far enough, you'll get some clipping. Yeah, so once you start to go there, then you get some pretty big clipping. But, I mean, that's a pretty good range of motion for just the neck. Yeah. So twisting definitely has the fastest clipping occurring. But it gets a decent range of motion that way. The thing to worry about next, because I think that's a good range of motion for the neck, once we factor in head motion. Although, I guess that does clip a little bit. But with the head motion, that's the next thing to work on, because with head motion, these things start to move out of their sockets like that. So I need to figure out how to get this thing to rotate the right way, such that it won't do that. Which hopefully is possible, but I guess we will see. So, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe, depending on how things go. I might make this a little bit less thick in the middle, because that one definitely is the biggest problem when it comes to clipping. And then, I don't know. But yeah, so far I'm pretty happy with it. So I might make that a little less girthy, and I might, well, I definitely need to extend the length of these inner tubes, because they straight up just don't go in far enough. That's my bad. But yeah, I'll fix those. How quick I did this? Oh, thank you. I had the idea of how to do it before starting, but I kind of messed a lot of things up when I was going through it, so it went a little longer than I wanted it to, just to get this like base aim constraint stuff figured out. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how quickly I've gotten it done. This is my biggest concern up here, though. I might have to rework the whole system just to get these to work, because that is a little bit worrying. And I'm not entirely sure how to do that one, because that is a lot more complicated. But so far, it's looking pretty good, I think. I think it looks cool, even though it's just like a white box model. I think it looks pretty sick, with just like these basic, you know, pistons and the head and whatever. Can I make this a VOD? I'm not sure what that is. What is a VOD? Essentially a rerun of your stream. Oh, it's like a recording of your stream that just shows up on Twitch. Okay, yeah, I'll try and figure out how to do that. That way it'll be up. I can potentially also make like a much shorter, like more condensed version that is just like straight up a tutorial. But yeah, I'll definitely make this a VOD. It does it automatically, you just have to agree to it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll make sure that this shows up on Twitch post stream ending, you know. But yeah, I'm thinking I might post a YouTube video showing a tutorial of how to set up the next stuff. Especially if I can manage to figure out this top part, that'll be huge, because I think that would be really cool. But I am a little bit worried that I won't be able to figure that out. So I guess we'll see. But for now, I want to extend these poles. And I think I'm going to have to take them out of the skinning cluster in order to do that. So let's make that. Let's go skin, unbind, scan. So now when things move, nothing happens to the neck. Great. So I'm going to say, ooh, that is a little bit unfortunate. Okay. I think I can do this. Okay. And can I go to component mode? Will that let me go? Perfect. Okay, so I will just extend this maybe to there, because I don't want it to go too far, otherwise it'll start clipping out this way. But I think that's good. Okay, what if I object X, is that gonna work? Perfect. So I'll try going up that far. And now these ones definitely need to go further. Okay. And then these ones in the back as well. I think that's far enough. I think that's far enough. Have I done research on different machines and how their joints work? No. Might consider a different design / look at those base pivots near the head if things aren't working out. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because I definitely need to look at how these types of things actually function, because I think you're right. This might be a really bad design, because it might be very limiting in terms of range of motion. So I'll see if I can figure it out with the current design, and then if I can't, I'll definitely look up like real life examples of how this stuff works, because yeah, there's a good chance that it'll be much more work to get this to work right than it's worth, you know. It might just be way more worth it to redesign that area there. Okay. Let's show up the joints. And select all these, minus the constraints. And, oh, you know what? First, I have got to delete history on this. Okay. Okay, now that that's done, I can select them both, bind the skin, and then reskin it real quick. Why did it select those? Oh, I see. So that's going to be from piston 3. I'm going to flood those in there. Let's do... You know what? I think I have a better way of doing this. Okay. So first I will make these joints just a reference. And then I will say okay. And that one is back piston, I think. 3, yeah. Okay. Back piston 1, flood. Back piston 2, flood. Okay, mid piston 3, flood. And then let's get rid of all this. I think that's that is mid piston, I think. Yeah. So mid piston 1, flood that. Ooh, you know what? Oh, I see. Under Creator Dashboard Settings, Stream, VOD Settings, turn on the switch that says Store Past Broadcasts. Auto-publish or not? You don't auto-publish just in case there's copyright problems. Okay, interesting. And that's on directly on Twitch. Here, one sec. In the Creator Dashboard. Okay. Twitch.tv. Creator Dashboard. Settings. Okay. Okay, so I just switched up my settings. So hopefully that should be working. Yeah, I just got it all set up. Hopefully it'll put this one, it'll publish this one, but I'm not totally sure if it'll do this one since I switched that setting like midstream. But I guess we'll find out once I end the stream. So. Okay, what am I missing here? I don't remember what I've done. Was that all of them? No. Okay, let's see. So back piston. Okay, front piston, mid piston up. Okay, and then we need to do the throat. Okay, so throat piston 1, and let's do 2, and let's do 3. And then skin, and your skin weights, and hopefully everything's working fine. That's good, nice, they don't come out of the socket. Do they clip through? You gotta go too far for them to clip through. Nice, yeah, they're all looking good. Huh? Wait. Huh? Huh? Okay, great, so I'm going to save that. Okay, either I'm going to end the stream soon, or I'm going to try and figure out this stuff. Because I do, unfortunately, have classes tomorrow morning at 10. And I'm kind of hungry. But I'm thinking I might try to take a crack at these. Just for a bit. And see if I can figure it out. And then I'll end the stream. So, let's see. So if I go like this, what do I want to happen? Honestly, I want this one pointing down this way as well. Oh, okay. I think I figured it out. This might not work, but I think I have a good idea. So what I want to do is okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll turn on the locators so I can see those again. Okay, so I'm thinking first move I gotta do is, just to be safe, I need to do a parent constraint for only the translate from this joint to that one. Okay, so those all look normal still. Oh, screw that. Okay. I'm going to undo those constraints because that would mess everything up. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm straight up just going to say constrain aim. For this one, let's say that's the up. Okay, we're going to go negative. We're going to 1 for that, 1 for that, I think. Alright. Yeah. And then I want this one also aiming down. And here. Hold up. Is that going to mess it up? Okay, wait. Oh. Yeah. I needed to say instead of all, I need to only be changing the y-axis. Yeah. Sorry, what'd you say? You just saw a post on the Maya subreddit. That's a job posting. They're looking for modelers, riggers, and animators for their AAA game. Payment would happen after the game is released, and will be based on how much the game makes. Oh my gosh. There's no way. It can't be a AAA game and you don't pay your workers. That's not how that works. Okay. So here's the moment of truth after my first test to see if that works. Does that? Not quite. But that's really close. That's really close. Okay. I know how to do this. I could totally get that to work. So that looks good on this one, but all I need to do now is I need to make sure that this one is following this one in terms of some of the rotation, but not all. So, okay. Yeah, doesn't that look pretty good? I'm honestly surprised that I got it working pretty decently after just my first try. Okay, so I think I can totally get this. So now I need to undo this constraint, unfortunately, but it's going to be pretty similar. Okay, so we'll get rid of that constraint. Now we'll say so it's still the same up locator. Alright, still the same stuff for the other stuff, but the only axes that I want working are Y and Z. So I'll select this one, and I'll select this one, and I'll apply it. Now let's see if that works. Oh my gosh. Guys. Oh, it was so easy. I cannot believe that worked so well. I didn't think that was going to work first try. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. That's exactly what I wanted. I cannot believe that. Things don't normally work out that well first try. That's literally exactly what I wanted. Oh my gosh. Perfect! This is so great. So I actually do finish it all in one night. I didn't think I'd do that. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that works perfectly. Okay. So now I just need to redo the constraints on the other ones and I'll be good. So let's put this at 0. Okay. I do have to redo just a little bit of the skinning. I mean, I don't really need to, because these ones are rotating with this instead of staying to the head. But you can't tell because it doesn't have any textures, so it doesn't really matter. But if I turned on wireframe, then it would. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do all these base ones. So these ones are just going to be turning. And look. All of this only works because I had perfect orientation from the beginning. I didn't know how I was going to accomplish this stuff, but I knew that it would be probably a good idea to get good orientation from the beginning. So always remember, do your orientation right the first time. Because if I didn't have my orientation right, none of this would work. Yeah, anyways, that's the moral of the story. Make sure to fix your orientation before you get into anything else, because if you don't, it'll screw everything up down the line, and you'll have to go way back and redo things. So, okay, so I just want the Y orientation for these. So I'll say left, front. Yeah. So I pick these, and I say apply, approved. Right, and that looks good to me. Wait, did I choose the wrong one? No, I chose the right one. Oops. Yeah, this one is spinning, but that's a separate issue. And I'm right about to redo this anyways, so I'll leave that for now as I complete the other ones. So this is the mid, and I'll say this one, apply. Okay, now I can do this side. So I'll say, oh wait, first I should do this one. Okay, so here, copy that. And then here, apply. Okay, now let's start with this side. So I'm going to copy this. And then this time, I want it to be negative x and negative z. And I think that should be all. Yeah. And I'm getting super tiny values here. They're small enough that I really don't think it matters. Because that's like 1, 2, 3. You gotta go like 5 decimal places before you even run into a number. That's just because, you know, when you're working with like floating point variables, which I think you are, you just, when you do calculations, you get little tiny values screwed up just way down the line, and so it ends up, you know, messing up your numbers a little bit. But I really don't think that'll cause any issues. So okay, now let's select this one. I'll say like that, go here, apply, and I need to do this one. So that's there, copy that, here, apply. Okay, so now I believe if I move this, all of the ones attached to the head, oh wait, if I move this, all the ones attached to the head should be working fine. The only ones that need to be fixed are these other little ones. Okay. So now let's go into here, and I've got to delete this. so let's copy that, put it in there, go back to positive values. And I believe for these ones, they should be working with it was Y and Z, yeah. Okay, so I can just select this, apply, and just real quick to make sure that worked. That looks so good. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe this. Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's do that here. So I'll copy that name, put it in here. Delete the existing constraint and reapply the better one. Okay, now here, let's copy that name. Okay. Copy this name. Delete the existing constraint. And then we go this one, that one. Ooh, negative values real quick. Negative, negative, apply. Okay. Copy the name. Delete the existing constraint. Click, click. Apply. And I think this is the last one. Okay, we saved that, which we should have been doing this whole time, but I wasn't, and we're glad nothing crashed. Hide the locators and the joints, make that just a reference. Okay, and now, the first debut of our functional rig. You can move things here, and you can move things here, and you get some real sexy movements in those robot joints. Everything looks mechanically perfectly functional. That is awesome. Okay, I think last thing to fix is it is going to bother me that I'll show you. These parts that are connected to the head are skinned wrong because those should be moving with the head. So I'm just going to quickly fix that, but after that, I believe I'll be done. Okay, and now I go skin, paint skin weights, and we just put all of these to the head. Oh, you know what? I didn't even add the head to this skin cluster. So we gotta fix that. And now, hopefully it looks good. Yeah, it looks good with or without the wireframe turned on. Ooh, that's some good stuff. It lives, yeah. That's pretty awesome, honestly. I'm very happy with this. So now you can get like some nice movements. There. Some head nod. Ooh, and look, they like move outwards for it. It's subtle, but it's there. Oh, okay, so I guess you can't go that far back. That is awesome. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Okay, I am happy with this. Just gotta give this crash test dummy material and you're done. That's true. That would be real nice and easy, and then it would look super clean. Maybe I'll do just like a little animation with it that I can post somewhere. Yeah, I don't know. Thanks for joining my stream, you guys. Hopefully you learned something, because I definitely did. Because I did not know how to do this before starting. I had an idea, but I didn't know how to actually execute it. And turns out sometimes things just go way better than you plan for. This worked out to be way easier than I thought it would be, if I'm being totally honest. And now, like, great range of motion. I mean, maybe I could make that a little longer, but for the most part, I think this is pretty great. That looks pretty good. Although I'm realizing these orientations are totally different for these controls. That's something that I want to fix. That way you can like move them together. Humble brag? Oh yeah, you know. Yeah, I really did not expect this to go so well. This went really well, and I'm very proud of myself for figuring out this part here. Because, like, the first semester we were in the program, when we were doing the robot arm, I tried to do some, like, complex mechanical stuff for my robot arm with the way that I, like, set it up, and I could not figure it out at all. And it wasn't this exact problem, but it was along similar lines. And so the fact that I now can figure it out in like a couple hours in one sitting, without like having done this before, I'm very proud of the progress that I've made since starting in the program. I feel like I've learned a lot, and I can honestly solve a lot of tough problems without too much help. So yeah, I think this is super sweet. I think this was a really cool project. I'm glad I decided to do this today. So yeah, anyways, thanks you guys for joining the stream. I think I'm gonna end it now. I'm thinking I'll just do a really quick screen recording of this working, and I'll send it into like our class Discord to show everybody. And I'll be like, ha, you guys didn't get to see how it's done, but the viewers did. Didn't mean to dox you guys. Anyways, yeah. Thanks for joining. I'll see you guys in the next stream, maybe. I don't know. Oh, okay, cool. I'm glad you don't hate me now for accidentally doxing you. But yeah.